Welcome to Educating Spokane. I'm Erica Hallock. Tonight, our Board of Directors is taking questions about Spokane Public Schools. If you have a question, we hope you'll call the number on your screen or email or text us at es@ksps.org. We encourage you to share your name and phone number in case we need to get back to you if time runs short. Our guests from the Board of Directors tonight include Vice President Susan Chapin.
Hello.
President Bob Douthitt.
Erica.
And of course, our Superintendent, Dr. Shelley Redinger.
Good
Thank you
evening.
for being with us tonight. Now, we all know the end of the school year is always an extremely busy time. And before we jump to viewer questions, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on some of the exciting events that have happened recently within our school district, starting with graduation. I know you were all very active in graduation ceremonies over the last week or so, and the Board of Directors awarded over 1,600 diplomas to more than 12 Spokane Public School campuses. And I thought it'd be interesting to hear from you all about how that experience impacted you and some of your takeaways. Director Douthitt, would you like to start?
Sure. I think I went to 8 of those 12 graduations.
Great.
And it is unbelievable how much energy you get just waiting for one to start. You know, the half an hour, 15 minutes or whatever it is before. I mean, just the anticipation is unbelievable. And you know, you can be going to your 6th or 7th one and it still seems so exciting at every single one. So, you know, I went to the 5 large high schools, and then we have, you know, as if you say 12, there are 7 other different programs of varying sizes. You know, I went to the very first graduation ever for the Enrichment Cooperative, which is our homeschool partnership. And so that program's been going since 2002, but this was the first year that people graduated from high school because they weren't initially getting high school credits.
Okay.
They were just graduating with the homeschool credential, I guess you'd call it, and then applying to college with a, you know, individualized way of doing it. But now there were 5 graduates there. At these smaller programs, you get to see, they'll do individualized things. You get to really learn about the families and the students. It's so it's a lot of times really touching stories. So it's fun that way.
And it really highlights the
Yeah.
different options that are available within the
Yeah,
district.
yeah. I mean, that was one thing about the Enrichment Cooperative. That program's grown and changed too, and so there'll be other programs too that you can see. I mean, that program is kind of adapted to the needs of the community because it was more. I mean, in one way it's adapted is that the families have come more into the system, you know, and less homeschool and a little
So
bit
more of a
more
connection.
cooperative, really. I think over time. So.
Yeah.
And what about you, Director?
Oh, I love graduation. I think every board member does. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty
Highlight.
much, it's the day of the year we all live for because it's what we spend most of our time talking about is what we can do in our district to make sure more kids get to that day. And I usually do Ferris's graduation because I'm a Ferris graduate
Oh,
from
there
the
you
class
go.
of 74. And but I've done commencement ceremonies at practically every high school around town, and it's like Bob said, you know, you see such excitement with the kids and pride in the parents, and it's a celebration of the transition. It's not the end. It's just
The next
you know, you're
step.
celebrating their next phase in life, and I wouldn't miss it for anything.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Superintendent Redinger, I believe you shook almost every one of those 1,600 students' hands over the weekend last
Yes,
week. What
yes.
about for you? What are your takeaways?
Well, just to be able to shake each of their hands and look in their eyes and see their excitement as they're going on to their next phase in life. And then I also enjoy hearing the speeches, hearing the students as they prepare for their speeches, and really that bittersweet, they're saying goodbye but looking toward the future.
Well, that's great. It certainly is an exciting time.
It's wonderful.
You as board members have been quite busy because within that time period, we also celebrated a groundbreaking at Finch Elementary, and we have some graphics that will be shown as well. We have a modernization project that's slated to start this fall, and we were able to celebrate in a very exciting way with the community and students showing their musical talents and celebrating this exciting time that's coming to play. And this restoration at Finch is one of many projects that the Spokane voters approved in 2009. And I know a lot of people question what, we recognize some of these buildings are we have an older community. Some of these campuses are a little older, and of course they would need some modernization and updating and safety, but how would you say these modernization projects can affect the kids' educational outcomes? How does this impact their classroom experience and their education in general?
In a huge way. A 50-year-old classroom was built for what people in education knew about the best way to teach children 50 years ago. And we've come a long way, and that's just from the the technique and the art of teaching, but the buildings themselves weren't wired for the technology that we have today. They weren't built to be energy efficient. They weren't designed with security in mind. And so we're looking at all those things with the buildings and making them a safer environment for kids, more cost-effective for the district. And one question I had from a citizen was, well, didn't we just build Ferris? And I said, well, the building's about 50 years old. And she said, well, a building that's not that old. And I said, well, but it has almost 2,000 teenagers going through it every single day. And then she went, oh, yeah.
That impacts of the high usage.
High usage, and but in addition to all of that, it's great for our local economy. When we're spending voter-approved bonds, we're spending that money here locally. It's creating jobs, and the ripple effect from that, that makes it great for everyone.
Great benefits.
Beautifies neighborhoods as well as does great things for kids.
And Director Douthitt, I've heard a lot about the pride that's associated when a lot of campuses are renovated, that it generates a lot of excitement, renewed excitement on campuses.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, probably the best example of that would be Rogers High School, because that was one where we had a student advisor who was we have student advisors on our board every year, and so our student advisor, who was a senior the year that it reopened, had been through the whole construction process, and her take was that Rogers had always felt as if it had kind of the worst building and the worst of everything, and people didn't really take pride in it. But now everybody thought they had a great place, and was just the attitude and taking care of the building and picking up things and all that was 100% different, and that's continued really, and people talk about that who are there now, and so and that school, I did, their graduation, we improved that. The graduation rate this last 6 years has gone up like 19%, and
at Rogers?
No, in the whole district,
the whole district,
right. From 57 to 70, well, 58 to 77 basically, and but at Rogers it's gone from like 49, or maybe it was 50, to about 83 or 4. They started below and they ended higher, and they're going to school longer days, more days. They're working harder, and they're getting huge results, and that building plays a part in it, so
it really does.
But that I wouldn't be building buildings just to create pride. I think that the points you made at the beginning about the technological things, when we opened Westview this fall, you could just see the different features that were in that classroom to enable teachers to teach in with the audiovisual stuff that just they weren't capable of doing with the other building. And another thing about Finch is it's a huge school. It's our second biggest school in the whole district, and it's just not big enough, so we got to add a wing to it, and so if you're adding a wing, then you may as well improve the other stuff. So.
And it's a beautiful historic building, and so the architects worked very carefully with the school board to make sure that we preserve those historic features, and so it's going to be very nice.
Well, and I would note that there's there'll be some reopenings of the schools, and we encourage the community to come and celebrate, especially those that are alumni of those particular schools.
Yeah.
So that's great. Well, at this time, I'd like to move to some viewer questions. We received some, and the first question relates to a huge initiative that the board recently approved related to full-day kindergarten. We've received a number of questions around curious to hear a little bit of the director's rationale for approving this, and as well as if you consider the factor some folks have been concerned that their children might not be ready for a full day, that it might be just too much for a 5- and 6-year-old. So, Director Douthitt, would you like to talk a little bit about full day kindergarten?
Sure. Well, the main reason for doing it was academic, and there's a ton of research that shows you've got to get your kids to a certain level of mainly reading, but just overall skill level by 3rd grade, or they're really going to be in a world of hurt for the rest of their careers. You know, if they don't have a good level of literacy skills by the end of 3rd grade, it sort of goes learn to read, K through 3, learn to read, and four and on up, read to learn. So if they haven't mastered that, they're going to be in a difficult situation. And we've got our graduation rate, say, now to the point where, you know, the people that the people that are having difficulty now are ones that basically, starting off around 3rd grade, are struggling all the way through and just never do catch up. And so that, and the difference that gets made by going to full day kindergarten is huge. So that's the reason. And so we want to be able to continue that growth from 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade and on. So that's the reason. There's, you know, that the issue of whether the kids are ready socially, you know, that's always a fear, and
One that's being considered. I understand that.
And it's been considered, and you know, that's something that, you know, we've looked at, and there's been research done, and all the studies, you know, show that people work out better. You know, overall doing that. There will be, through about the middle of October, end of October, a handful of situations, I'd say, in the principal's office.
But
you know,
even in our schools that already have
Yeah.
full-day kindergarten,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we've been doing this for a while. I think we have
Right.
17
Yeah.
schools with full-day K.
Right.
So we've got experienced teachers that understand those transition
Yeah.
issues. And you know, we've had a couple of letters from citizens concerned that that's too much at that age. And you know, it's not, kindergartners don't sit in their chair for 6 hours a day.
Right.
You know,
The
it's
learning's
age
different.
appropriate. The learning style is different. You know, kindergartners don't learn like 10th graders learn.
Right.
There's a lot of physical activity. There's a lot of creativity involved in their learning, using manipulatives, you know, to learn about numbers and letters and story time and moving from areas. So it's a lot of fun learning activity that the children really look forward to. And the younger 6-year-olds it'll be a little bit more of an or excuse me, younger 5-year-olds. But they catch up really quickly. And, you know, even some of our teachers were a little concerned at first. How would those kids handle a full day of kindergarten? But they do it beautifully. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we're
we've had
very
15
excited.
schools doing it
Yeah.
already, you know,
Right.
so.
For a few years now,
Yeah.
and it's gone very well. And you know, this isn't daycare. Kindergarten is school, and I say, with all honesty, that great kindergarten teacher's worth their weight in gold, because
Absolutely.
what they get those kids to do is just unbelievable, and the kids enjoy it.
That foundation is so
The
important.
foundation is so important, so they can start off at 1st grade. We have a lot of, you know, kids starting kindergarten that haven't had
Right.
daycare opportunity or any educational opportunity before they come to kindergarten. So they're starting really needing a lot of foundational work with their letters and their numbers and reading. And other kids do have more of that experience, but they still learn a lot, get a lot of the socialization and
Right.
exposure to a lot of other
Getting along in a
things.
group,
Yes.
sitting in a circle.
Yes.
Do you
Taking
wanna
a
add
turn.
anything to those?
Sure. Well, the new college and career ready standards, which are commonly called the Common Core, those also are going to require more than just 2 hours of kindergarten. The standards in kindergarten will require for students to have that full day in order to be ready for first grade and on up. And so our timing, I think, is very important as those new standards are coming in.
It's a very
Yeah, and-
proactive
And
stance.
regardless of those standards anyway, the state law set back in 2009 had full-day kindergarten as a requirement that was going to be
Correct.
coming in 2000, by 2018 regardless, so.
Correct.
So you're listening and learning from the other schools and acting proactively and taking a very
Yeah.
intentional approach.
Yeah, so we did it before. I mean, we could have waited till the state funded everything, but the
It's that
the
important.
benefit of bringing it to everybody so that, I mean, one problem that exists with full-day kindergarten is if you don't have it everywhere, then, as we have a lot of mobility in our district, kids move from one school
great
to
point.
another school. I mean, some schools it's like 50% or something like that. So if you're coming from a non-full-day K school to a full-day school or vice versa, you know, then the teachers in second grade have a really difficult time and that benefit is going to get lost. But if we have everybody on the same level, you know, coming out, you know, it's going to be
But great benefits.
a lot
Well,
better
and
for every-
likewise, one of the questions we
Yeah.
had is why don't you have, you know, some full-day K and some half-day K classes in every school?
Yeah.
But then what you do is
Same problem.
you create an impossible situation at first grade because
Right.
the kids are coming in to first grade with a huge, and a discrepancy in abilities that we've created, and we didn't want to create
Institutionalize that.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, we have a viewer email. Nancy has emailed us about a very hot topic related to charter schools.
Oh.
And the question relates to when will the children in the Spokane district have the opportunity to participate in charter schools? This is a timely issue.
Yes.
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 Well, as I'm sure the viewers remember, is that the Washington voters did pass the charter school law recently, and we were one of a handful of school districts that put in a letter of intent that we were interested in completing the application. So currently we're working on that application. It is due July 1st, and so we do have a group of staff working on that, and then we will be running that by the school board and then turning that in. So it will be a planning year, and then we'll move forward with the implementation. And we did receive a lot of good input from the community about ideas, and we have an options committee, K-12 options, looking and surveying the community about what would be the best fit.
Yeah, and I just got back from a trip to a school district in Texas that has charter schools. I went down there specifically on a grant. It wasn't school district money, it was grant money that paid for me to go, and traveled with some district administrators to look at how charter schools fit into a school district, collaborative programs even within a school where there's a charter school. There are classrooms that are a charter school and then classrooms that aren't, and how that works. And it was a very positive experience. I came away with a lot of great information, and I think it's a very viable option, and we'll just give our community one more choice. And you know, there's no specific charter that's been selected yet. It's way too early in the process, but just really looking at how does that work? How do we, you know, incorporate that into our district? And it'll be fine.
On that viewer's question, though, I think, or the way this process works is July 1, we get our application in to be an authorizer. So we would hopefully get picked to be entitled to authorize
Correct.
somebody to come in and be a charter school.
Correct.
And then we have to figure out who are we going to pick to be the
Correct.
charter school. And then that has another deadline. And but I think that the time frame is set up so it would start in 2014-15.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it is a process, and I
Yeah.
hear you saying that you intend this to be very deliberative,
Absolutely.
intentional, and aligned with the district's direction, and also reflects the growing number of options that you've offered in recent years. It's certainly the district is not the one-size-fits-all approach, as you indicated with your graduation stories. So you see this as another tool in your toolbox.
Well, And another option for families, because I don't think we would necessarily be looking for something that resembles what we already have. What would be the point of that? You know, something
Right,
that's
right.
different and offers families a different choice
Yeah, something that we wouldn't be able to offer
otherwise.
within the normal framework, you know, so we'd have to be able to take advantage of the charter rules, which basically enable us to go outside the state law and
Yeah,
Flexibility.
it's very exciting.
Very exciting. And a lot of community impact input will be included
Oh,
in that. as we can
absolutely.
imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of community forums in our future, I sense.
I believe it.
Well, we have another viewer question, and this relates to education of gifted students at the elementary level. We received a very thoughtful and lengthy email about the current policy around educating gifted children and the strategy of gifted classes being offered at one school site. And really, what's the opportunity to talk about the gifted emphasis as well as education for all children in the district? Can you speak to, there was some concern this individual expressed about the disruption of some gifted children leaving their usual school site every day to participate in these.
every day or once a week?
Or rather,
It's once a week,
regularly. And
Well, we have a couple of different options for gifted education in the district, and in the younger grades, it is a one-day-a-week pull-out program where kids from all over the school district get together in one school, and then they have their I think it starts at fifth grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade classes together. And then we also have the full-time program that's 5 days a week. So I think the question, because we pulled it out here, wanted to look at it carefully, had to do with concern that may leave the kids who aren't participating in the gifted program not having as rich of an educational opportunity. And that's certainly not the intent. This is just, we have different programs in our district for different students with different needs, and this really is. It's a unique group of kids, and they do have some specialized needs. And the other way to look at it is some families think that if the teacher's focusing on the needs of the gifted children in the classroom, then if they stay in the classroom, then what about those kids in the middle? Are they getting enough attention? So, there's always different ways to look at this question. But the intent is not for the activity in a regular classroom in an elementary school to stop during the day that the kids are off at TESRA. It's, the intent is it's supposed to be moving on.
Seamless.
Correct.
Seamless, absolutely.
would you like to add any comments?
No, I mean, no matter which way you try to handle the gifted program, and law requires basically that you have a gifted
Right.
program, even if you didn't want to have one. We would want to have one, but there's going to be pros and cons to any old way of doing it, and so. Do you try to have some little program in the school, but sometimes there's not really enough. I'm not sure what the person's alternative idea is, but there's.
Well, and the number of children is really so small at any
Yeah.
one elementary school, you wouldn't make an entire classroom. At any grade level at an elementary school, you're talking about 5 kids or less usually. And so it's really much more cost effective for the district, as well as to have teachers who are specifically trained to work with children that have those needs and issues. So.
Well, we're nearing our end of our time, and I want to get to one more email question that we received, and it's the question about the number of certified teachers that will be hired next year. We obviously know with full-day kindergarten, the district will be hiring a number of teachers. So the question relates to given the number of certificated staff that you'll be hiring, as well as the new teacher evaluation program that's coming out, do you as the board have any plans to reinstate the mentoring program? And as well as how will these second question is how non-classroom teachers will be evaluated. So the first question, mentoring program.
That's a big question.
big question.
For just 4 minutes left to go. But that's one of the items that's on our list
Yes,
of
it
budget
is. The mentoring.
possibilities to bring back the mentoring program. But until we know from the state legislature how much money we're going to get to operate next year, we've got plans and we have items that were being considered, and we're moving forward with a pretty conservative estimate, sorry about that, of what that amount of money might be. But it is one of the items that's being considered, the teacher
Mentoring
mentor program.
program.
And we will be hiring quite a few teachers. Every year we always have about 130 or so teachers that retire. So in addition to hiring for those full day K positions, the new ones, we need to replace teachers who are retiring.
Yeah, and we've already hired a number, well, a percentage
Several.
of those already. So
So
I forgot what
the district got a jump on hiring
Yes,
the
absolutely.
staff.
was there were several parts.
The mentoring, and then what are plans for evaluation of non-certificated staff, so non-classroom staff?
Well, currently the law requires certificated teachers with the new TPEP program, and we had to adopt a framework. And the board, we recommended as staff, and the board adopted the Marzano framework. Currently, that by law, it's the certificated staff. So we'll continue to do some analysis about how can we better dovetail the classified evaluations with the certificated, so everyone's rowing the boat in the same direction. But that will be obviously future discussions and ongoing discussions.
And if I could take that moment to plug that the district will be unveiling a new strategic plan here in the next few months that will really articulate the direction for the next 5 years, and it's quite exciting, and many of these topics that were raised tonight will be included there. We're nearly out of time tonight, so I wanted to take this time to thank our board of directors as well as our superintendent for joining us, as well as our volunteers that answered the phones, and you, the viewers, for tuning in. We will be re-airing the show at 8 p.m. for a week beginning tomorrow on Comcast Cable Channel 17. This and many other shows and interviews are always available on our website at SpokaneSchools.org. Good night. Thank you for joining us.
Ben, you're in charge. We're still in a deeper conversation.